Basp is taking little V, which will be strength agility. And so we have our kind words from the king, and we will get to see what our first 3 items are going to be.
Should I explain what the flags are for this week?
I'll be my guest.
Okay, folks, for this week we have the standard usual flag, except minor, very few differences. Very fast XP, the no spell level ups, no keys, and a short Sherlock. What was in the 3 chests from the king?
We had 2 chests of gold. One, of course, will always be gold because it is the obligatory key chest, except for there are no keys. All keys are replaced with gold. And a death necklace. And looks like we have a pile of gold in the treasury, exactly where gold belongs. Looks like 2 gold, a torch, and just some fairy water.
And I see Mr. Holmes is going to the basement of our hometown to see what's behind there.
And we have our resident old man, affectionately known as the Jerk, guarding the rainbow drop, as he will kick you out if you do not have the items required to receive the rainbow drop. And we have a swamp castle start. Ooh.
That's gonna be rough on the HP for anyone who's gonna go through that first part of the map.
Well, it's good on them that they have 22 HP, but that's a lot of swamp to do.
And for those who wondered who spun the seed, I'm guilty. I am sorry, everyone. Did someone say hurt more scorps?
Well, metal scorpions not being too friendly.
Oof, and Canuck just got wrecked by a Drakey.
This is usually we say fast and furious start, but I mean we're seeing Drakeys, Magidrakeys, Magicians, Metal Scorpions, and oof, and Hurtmores on the Magidrakeys. Not some very not friendly enemies out here.
I think we found our friendly one because Smashy found a red slime right now, and he's going for broke right now. Never mind. Red slimes have hurt.
Ooh boy, and that was a werewolf not that far out of the castle's swamp zone there. Yeah, lots of gold. Lots of gold to be had from the castle, however... yeah, you're not going to survive with it. We got a blue slime, though.
Oh, come on, Smashy, please. Oof, Canuck dying to Spectre would hurt.
Ooh, we have Mr. Holmes making a break for it through the desert.
And I believe Oh, red slimes have stop spell, which is nothing for Smashy. But that hurt's gonna wreck him and send him back to the castle.
Oh my. Mr. Holmes makes it out of the deserts, gets to explore the forest a little bit, runs right into a wolf lord, also with hurt. This is a seed of Hurtmore here.
Like every randomizer, we are at the mercy of the randomizers that's gonna deal with us. Oh, Exo's move by Smashy kills a slime.
Oh, that's 2. One more slime for Smashy, and he'll at least gain a level, as Basp has already done. And actually was a significant strength increase for Basp there.
That should make things a little bit easier on level 2.
And level 2 for Smashy, not far behind, and again a significant strength gain. And wow, Hangry Canuck, I missed it during the leveling going on, has broken out quite a bit here, and we see Charlotte.
Looks like it's not even that far from the headquarters, huh?
And slept and wrecked by the Druid. And
Wow.
Mr. Holmes has made it to level 2 as well now.
Which is good because this seed is seeming like aching for pain. Oh, Smashy went to level 3 already.
Oh, that does give Smashy the heal spell, so as soon as he walks outside the swamp, can actually go ahead and heal back to full health. And level 3 for Mr. Holmes as well, and we have a poltergeist that was found, also has sleep.
Well, this seed's off to the races pretty well, don't you think, Ryu?
This is certainly a fun one.
I am so glad I did not get this seed for my race. Oh, Mr. Holmes is on level 4 right now. Wait, it's a 4-3 on Holmes. Okay, it's 4.
Yep, level 4 for Mr. Holmes with Hurt.
Oof. Hurtmore from the Middle Scorpion says deny and sends Mr. Holmes back to the king.
Oh, we have Scorpion. They, so far, only seem to want to strike. That's decent.
Seems everyone's going for, like, I must use the hurt spell at all costs at this rate. And I see Bass going to a cave of sorts, and I believe... I can't tell where's he going. Is that the grave I see, or I'm seeing things wrong?
No, that is indeed the grave. So for those who are unfamiliar with the randomizer, the names of the enemies are all still the same. Their stats will be the same. The experience and gold they give is the same. However, their moveset has been randomized. So we see quite a bit of Hurtmore and Hurts being thrown around. We see a lot of Sleep getting thrown around. Some of the earlier game enemies who would normally just only attack you being very unfriendly here. Stat gains for your levels will also be randomized. Experience has been increased to half of the original values. You also will see these spells will be learned in this particular case due to flag sets at the vanilla levels in the game. So level 17 is where Healmore will be found.
By the way, did you see that stacking that Mr. Holmes game on level 5?
That is a hefty strength gain indeed. For those who are wondering, what are all these crazy names for stats giving us? Smashy is actually going with a agility MP, if I remember correctly. Basp is on strength agility, MisterHomes is on strength HP, and the Hangry Canuck is on an HP MP build.
Yeah, because I'm mistaken that little C that Smashy has for parentheses, so that was my bad. It's kind of funny that everyone's grinding on near the castle right now, which is not a bad strategy right now, especially with the mountains and the desert nearby.
Well, those mountains do give a increased rate along with the desert of encounter.
Oof! And Bass just ran into Werewolf with baby breath. Question enchant any middle slimes in zone 0. I didn't see any middle slimes. Have you, Reed?
I have not spotted a middle slime. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but so far I have not seen any.
And Canuck just got wrecked by a armored, not armored X, just a regular X Knight just killed him. And I'm just wondering, what did Canuck do? Because I thought he was on level 5, but he's at level 1 right now. Thanks to our viewer Lapkin pointing out that Zone 0 is limited to scorpions and below, while Zone 1 is limited to a wolf and below.
Yeah, this is definitely a rough seed, and I mean, it's not even allowing the runners to branch out and explore here. Even for those who have managed to get past level 1, we have MisterHomes on 6, Smashy on 5, and Basp on 4, but still can't really get any.
Well, I can't blame him for trying right now because, like, right now, ooh, Spectres would hurt now. At this rate, you probably might as well grind it out near your HQ because that's pretty much. Besides, you could actually sell for a just potentially regain all your gold back from the treasury. Speaking of caves, MisterHomes found. Ooh, I believe that's not swamp. I believe that's mountain cave I'm seeing on MisterHomes' end.
That would be the grave. And not much to be found here. Herb, torch, and some more gold.
Oh, I think MisterHomes is heading for the bottom of the grave right now. Ooh, Mr. Holmes at level 7 with 5, 17, 12, and 1. Wow, that's actually good defense.
So, question in chat of what was in the treasury. So, treasury held 2 gold, a torch, and some fairy water. As for tentacle basements, we had the Rainbow Drop Cave, and we started off with 2 chests of gold and a death necklace.
Oof, Mr. Holmes just got wrecked in the grave, so I don't know if he's gonna go back to see if he's gonna go for the bottom of the grave, where most runners tend to skip if there's nothing necessary there.
I don't know. At this point, we've seen all of the chests available in the castle. We've seen a few of the chests in the grave. I'd have to say we haven't really found anything. I'd be at this point thinking Mountain Cave must be where everything else is hiding, or possibly the back of Garenham.
Or we could actually find somewhere there might be maybe coal maybe next to the cave, so maybe they can like search to see if there's like possibly Edric armor, or possibly the worst case scenario, a fairy flute. Oof, mill scorpions with sleep.
Actually, I think that was Mr. Holmes trying to sleep the metal scorpion there. Ooh, and red dragons, as if they aren't nasty enough, they also come packing hurt more.
Can we call this scene "Welcome to Dragon Warrior Randomizer: The Vengeance of the Randomizer"? Ooh, and unfortunately, I did not see what the magicians have, but according to chat, they do have heal more, which makes magicians not technically the best way to kill the grind.
And we can add Wraith Knights to the list of ever-growing list of enemies with hurt more.
I think I'm not gonna be allowed to spin any more seeds after this.
Yeah, I have to say, I am certainly glad I'm not the one who rolled this, so at least I won't be the one getting all the hate.
I even question myself. I even say to myself, what have I done? I should not have spun it.
And it looks like Basp was trying to make a run for the bottom of the grave, but got stopped short just as Holmes did. And I think Smashy is now in the grave as well. Not sure if this is the first, second, or third time, or possibly more.
Well, Smashy's at level 6, so he should be fine for the most part. While Canuck is like trying to grind his way through at level 2. He needs to level up so bad.
Yes.
Goodbye, Smashy. Actually, it says deny you from the grave.
It is definitely a rough grind to get started here, and then, yeah, the grave, as if it wasn't nasty enough as it is, there's Axe Knights to say hello to you as well.
Oh, I didn't realize Mr. Holmes is at level 8 right now. What was that cave near Sharlock that I didn't see on Basp's screen?
I believe that's the grave.
Oof, Druid with the hurtboard says adios, Basp.
And I believe we saw this before, but we're definitely seeing it again if we have. Mr. Holmes getting taken out with Hurt More from the Wolf. And Jorkima with Hurt More. Good. Wow. Everything has.
Does everything have hurtboard today? This is ridiculous.
Well, not everything has Hurt More, but skeletons have Dragon Breath, so or rather, Dragon Lord Breath.
Ryu, are you so glad that we did not participate in the seed?
You're not rolling it in my future week's seeds, that's all I'm saying.
That's not fair enough, man. I can't blame you, dude. Like, I'm gonna say this on the. We are at the randomizer's mercy, so whoever spins the seed is blaming on the randomizer, not the person who spun it.
And looks like I may have not seen it before, but I've seen it now. Rogue Scorpions with Sleep as well, so Sleep and Hurt More and Dragon Lord Breath abound.
Oof. And Mr. Holmes dodged the Axe Knight. But I think everyone's getting the idea that you just might as well just cast Hurt to hurt on everything so you can just get some levels.
Yeah, at this point, just casting Hurt so you can secure a kill on anything. Hurt before it can hurt you, basically.
I think this seed spells for you must be a mage instead of a freaking melee fighter instead.
Alright, so Hangry does make it to level 3, gets the heal spell, so that will allow Hangry to get back to full health after venturing past the swamp now at least. But as we can see, even getting heal, it is certainly rough going.
Oh,
Mr. Holmes.
And... oh, Holmes found in our town. Finally! If he gets avoid the Axe Knight.
And we have coal. This could be big for Mr. Holmes, depending on what we find here.
Oh, please, armor. Please, the armor. Called it!
We do indeed have an armor find. And Hangry making it to level 4. Unfortunately, werewolves also have baby breath.
Big find from Mr. Holmes, so he is scot-free of getting wrecked in the overworld.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but he certainly has more survivability than before. As we see these Wraith Knights, they are of the Sleep and Hurt More variety, apparently, as Smashy gets the old slept and wrecked wombo combo.
Oof! Drill Magi's has hurt more.
And we see our first Star Wyvern. Mr. Holmes, of course, does not want anything to do with that at the moment.
Yeah, especially at level 8 right now, I don't think you can handle a Star Wyvern unless you have like a really good agility. And there's nothing up north from Cole.
So a very linear first continent so far. And Mr. Holmes running into the Wraith Knight, familiar with its use of hurt more, I believe. But still, its physicals are doing quite a bit of damage.
And he destroys it.
We see level 9 on Mr. Holmes' side. Not a bad level.
And say adios to torches because he doesn't need it anymore because he just got Radiant.
And our second town. Oh, no, sorry, that's just Cole again. Got excited.
I was about to say, are we going to like a new town? Like, never mind. We're just back in the inn.
Yeah, just Cole again. It's been so long since I've seen what a town looked like.
Oof, Star Wyverns are hitting like a truck right now to Mr. Holmes, and he's about to he's gonna get wrecked and sent to the king right now by the Star Wyvern. So back to the king you go, Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, those Star Wyverns, being one of the late game enemies, they certainly do hurt for quite a bit. It seemed like Hangry Canuck was trying to see if a small grind was possible to get it some more favorable enemies, but nothing favorable showing. And Smashy made their way to Cole and has the armor now as well. And there is a silver shield to be found in Cole should somebody want to make the grind.
And if I was any of the Forerunners right now, I would like just say maybe set up for a possible gold grind?
Well, Mr. Holmes is in the grave. Should he die out of the grave? He could certainly do so. And Hangry Canuck taking a death to the Star Wyvern and being sent back to the cat.
Oh, Mr. Holmes is actually going for the bottom of the grave to see what's in there. Because if I remember correctly, on one of these seas, one of the seas was actually required because at the bottom of the grave there was Edric's sword from a few days ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something important down here.
Well, it is always possible. There's a lot of important items that have yet to be found. We are running low on chests. So far, though, just some more gold. As we have yet to find, we found the armor, but we have yet to find a fighter's ring, which is not an important item, but it's useful. The harp, the stones of sunlight, and then there's always the token and flute, which can be found in a chest. As well as Erdric's sword, so there is definitely plenty of items left to be found.
Well, let's see what's in the bottom of the grave. After we possibly run away from this Wraith Knight.
Aw, and it's just a set of wings.
Thou
So
shalt not go to the bottom of the grave for this seed.
So that means all of the goods are hiding in Mountain Cave and the back of Garenham, possibly. We have a few more chests. Other than that, there is the one lonesome chest in Remolder, the one chest to be found in the Vanilla Stone to Sunlight Cave, and of course, Erdrick's Tablet Cave.
I do have a question. In Remoldar, since there's no keys involved, what becomes the shop for the key shop then?
Oh, he's out of business. He's gone. He closed up shop and he took off.
Yeah, because I was very curious when I was running this seed, so... Oh,
all the key shop salesmen have taken off for vacation.
Oh, I can't wait for week 2, because week 2 is gonna be a little bit more, in other words, chaotic.
And we do see MisterHomes is going for the gold grind.
Oh, I can't blame him for getting the silver shield at this rate.
And Hangry Canuck gonna try some fairy water out to see if that will assist in the exploration here.
But isn't that kind of counterproductive at his levels, because there could be a possible no fun police roaming around?
And ooh, I think Smashy found Swamp, and that was Breckenridge he just exited. Now, as far as the fairy water usage, it definitely is possible that if he runs into a zone with the red dragons, it would make them spawn more. But if the zones he's going through have some lesser enemies such as Drakeys, Slimes, Red Slimes, Scorpions, he can have a little bit of an easier time at least. Alright, I think Smashy is hoping for a good dive to the bottom of the grave here, hoping for something good to be found, or possibly even starting a gold grind. Although without knowing where a town is, I can't see that being a choice that Hangry would make.
Yeah, plus right now MisterHomes is on his way back to Cole to get that silver shield he wants it, because he's at 17k gold right now. If these werewolves don't start leaving MisterHomes alone.
And Smashy found another cave and has found another instance of the red dragons.
It sounds like he's either at... Oh, Melslime and deny Smashy.
I think he was trekking back through the swamp cave here. So it seems maybe wasn't much to be found on the other continent if he traveled back already.
But MisterHomes again runs away from the rogue scorpion and he casts Steel, and he's possibly on his way back to Cole.
And, well, there's an enemy we hadn't seen yet. Demon Knights with Dragon Lord Breath. We'll send the Hangry Canuck home as Smashy gets sent home by one of the red dragons. And MisterHomes does make it back to Cole, so a silver shield will be acquired.
So we're
here.
gonna see a silver shield purchase, if I'm not mistaken, right?
And as well as a broadsword. So MisterHomes armed and dangerous at this point.
Well, it's kind of safe to say that maybe if he finds another town for Mr. Holmes, maybe he could possibly purchase the flame sword.
With already having done one grind, I can't see him doing another. There's some interesting twists and turns over on the Hangry Canuck's side.
I just wonder if Canuck knows that he needs to go northwest.
Well, Hangry did take a path that we hadn't seen before, but it just led to a dead-end swamp, whereas Mr. Holmes has found the south side of Swamp Cave and instantly runs right into the Armored Knight.
And the Armored Knight just sent him back home to the king. Well, there's a funny question. Do all the caves have awfulness? We have not seen every cave yet. That I can tell you that.
Well, Mr. Holmes is going to go ahead and, looks like, make a beeline right back to that cave. Or maybe not. Maybe a little more exploration.
No, he's just spot the dead end where Canuck found it.
And Smashy looks to be exploring some new territory while Canuck is possibly working back to the grave.
But would you maybe level grind at the grave?
Well, it seems like exploration is what's on Hangry's mind, but does make to level 6. And we have a blue dragon sighting on Mr. Holmes' side, along with a wolf on Smashy's. I think that is our first sighting of each of those.
Yeah, and the Bill Screws with Heartmore are starting to strike again. Did Hangry Canuck just went northeast or northwest?
Northeast has not gone the direction of coal yet, unfortunately.
It's looking like northeast is also nothing to show. Wait, never mind. There's still more path. Oh, and Mr. Holmes ran into a regular knight, which is, I believe, it's beatable.
Well, it certainly seems that way.
Level 10 for Mr. Holmes. And the stats are 2, 4, 4, 19 MP.
It's at least a good MP gain there.
I think Mr. Holmes has the right idea, maybe just to grind on the regular knights, see where it takes them.
Yeah, they were actually lacking quite a bit in MP up until that level. And grinding on knights, not a bad idea. They are a good experience here. And a question in chat, HP MP for Hangry, that is correct. Hangry went with a HP MP build.
Yeah, which for my taste, I do not like the HP MP build because I rather have some good physical damage in my.
I have to say, I've never ran anything but strength HP, so I can't really say much about the other.
The only thing I can see about the strength agility build, in my opinion, is like if you want to get like a good running chance away from the enemies, which is not terrible depending on the penalties. But other than that, I think strength HP is pretty much more the standard in my opinion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think typically strength HP is the top picked build, with strength agility being a close second. But anything else, usually we don't see.
Well, adios, Hangry.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's a single enemy we haven't seen. But I would have to say at least half the enemies have had either Hurt More, Dragon Lord Breath, Dragon Breath, or Hurt at this point.
Oof, we just learned Wolf Lords had Heal More. And Hurt More.
Wow. Heal More and Hurt More on the Wolf Lords. Thankfully for Mr. Holmes, he has Stop Spell, but doesn't seem to be in a...
Yeah, but Mr. Holmes is having a hard time landing the Stop Spell on any of the enemies.
And Wraith Knights, of course, have the Sleep Hurt More Wombo combo, and no Stop Spell happening there either.
According to chat, what other towns have been found yet? It's just coal. So it might take a while. But there was a swamp cave sighting, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ryu?
Well, we did actually see, the South Swamp Cave, and I believe Smashy actually made it to the other side and found Breckenary, but nothing of importance found so far other than coal.
Well, if you want a cheap town to sleep in, might as well go to the second continent.
And we actually see Smashy doing quite a bit of a gold grind here. So potentially a silver shield and I would assume broadsword purchase. Although Smashy did check the shop that was found in Breckenary, I don't actually know what was there.
I wonder if chat knows what was in that shop, because I didn't know, I didn't see it either.
But the grind that Smashy did, I could only imagine a Flame Sword has to be there, seeing as how they already have Erdrick's armor.
But that means maybe Catelyn might be the ultimate spot right now, because right now I believe it's either the Fairy Flute or the token can be found either by Hawkness or the Coordinates, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Or neither, actually. Fairy Flute or token could both. They could actually both be found in a chest, but they would typically be found in either Hawksness being guarded by a boss monster, or by finding the coordinates from Catelyn, which, oh man, good luck trying to do coordinates on this map.
Did I just see a big EXP game by MisterHomes with 130 XP?
If he did, I certainly missed it. I do see that Hangry Canuck has made it to level 7, however. And all in all, with the bit of a delayed start to get going here that the Hangry Canuck had, not honestly that far behind Smashy, Basp, or even MisterHomes.
Yeah, especially with Canuck feeling like he must be way behind, but he's actually pretty much catching up pretty quickly, so... And he could be the dark horse of today's race.
And actually, I think Hangry Canuck was making their way towards Cole. They actually were, I believe, at the desert just before Cole, but got stopped.
Well, Canuck does have the arm because I didn't see him taking damage on the swamp, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Smashy exited the game. Did you see him reset the Ryu?
Yeah, Smashy did actually reset to keep the gold that had been grinded. And we have Basp has made it to Cole, so Basp has picked up their armor now.
Basp should be super happy he found it right now, so he can actually survive.
Super happy, but at 40, almost 48 minutes in, has to be feeling quite a bit behind at this point.
Whoops. Hello? And Ryu, can we just confirm that Canuck just kind of forfeited?
Well, he hadn't confirmed it. And there it is. That is the official forfeit, however.
A forfeit gives him just 1 point completely, right? Since he's last place technically. Meanwhile, Basp is at South Swamp Cave, but since there is no return spell yet, he's gotta walk all the way north to get to the north side. So with 3 racers remaining in the race, Ryu, what's your prediction on where the items are gonna be located? Since we know Cole had the armor, and whatchamacallit, and we have the deck necklace already.
The way this has been going, I'm gonna say the tablet cave is going to hold one of the key items, so either the stones, the token, or the harp, and it's just going to be tucked away in a far-off little corner of the world. And then the other key item is going to be tucked away in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, just, again, tucked away in a far-off little corner, minding its own little business.
Oh, Smashy's got to check the Guardian of the Princess. And it's the Red Dragon Fun Police, everyone. Herp War time!
And Smashy did actually pick up a flame sword along with their silver shield, so that is exactly what they were doing that grind for.
So Smashy has the flame sword, the Edric's armor, and the silver shield. Pretty much he is pretty much stacked for Dragon Lord when he gets the Edric's sword from wherever location it is located right now, because I believe and I see Bass is about to get wrecked by a werewolf.
You know, so far I've seen everybody on the other side of the swamp, but I think that's all that is over on the other side is Breck.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone exploring beyond Breckenary, to be honest. Well, Fun Police is just saying you will get stop spelled. No, never mind. MisterHomes was casting stop on the Fun Police.
Well, he's attempting. He did get it on there though, and I can't blame him with the hurt mores coming out. Although physicals, of course, would hurt more than a hurt more, but blocking the hurt mores means it's a wasted turn for the red dragon.
Well, Basp got sent by the Armor Knights.
And Smashy trying to prevent the sleep hurt more coming from the Wraith Knight.
Well, this exploration is not the easiest of explorations for this day's map. That Swamp Cave I see on Smashy's side, right?
Correct. Smashy's is Swamp Cave. However, we have the Tablet Cave. On MisterHomes' side, we have another cave. They do exist.
I see Tablet Cave on Mr. Holmes' side.
And it's just some gold.
Wop, wop, wah.
Well, we're eliminating some of our chests. We have Remolder with a single chest. We have the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave with a single chest. We have 5 in the Mountain Cave, and we have another town. And speaking of Remolder, here we are.
Let's see what Remolder gives.
Well, we have our first key item at 55 minutes in. It is the Stones of Sunlight hiding in Remolder.
That's a pretty trolly place to hide it there.
Indeed, and I was almost right. It was certainly tucked off in a corner, one shy of a. Oh, and of course, we actually still have 3 chests hiding in Garenham. But you know, I just realized that we still have one major problem here. Even if we find the Silver Harp, we have yet to see the cave that hides the Staff of Rain.
You know what? I actually forgot about that. So like, oh boy. And Smashy is about to come upon his disappointment.
Well, his disappointment and then his instant glee as he will surely find Remolder just steps away. And Mr. Holmes trying to land the stop spell on the Red Dragons does get it. You know, it's a good thing Sharlock is so close to the castle, considering everything else is just miles and miles apart.
You know what? I want to see how big this map is once the game is over. And there's nothing south of Remodar.
Oh, that tease of a dead end there.
Especially that one river tile in between.
And Smashy being put to sleep by the rogue scorpion over here. Thankfully, with all that defense, its physicals don't do very much.
And Mr. Holmes gets wrecked and put back to the king.
Yeah, that stop spell on the Red Dragon's certainly a good idea, but it just hasn't been landing very much.
I just wonder if Smashy's gonna go maybe northeast of Remolder to see what's up there. Because we already know south of Remolder is absolutely nothing just but tease.
I could be wrong, but I think Mr. Holmes looked northeast and was just a dead end. We'll find out, though. Or maybe not.
Oh, he's gonna go to where Mr. Holmes saw the dead end of a tease. And yep, Smashy saw what the disappointment was, and he's going back. Call me curious, but I don't understand why Basp has not decided to gold grind, especially with like how much gold grind you can do easily on the seed already.
Well, it depends on their familiarity with the gold grind.
Oh, and I didn't see what the level was for 13, but according to chat, it says 2, 9, 33, and 1. Giant HP gain for everyone on level 13.
Wow, max of 110 HP at level 13. Imagine what we're going to be at when we hit level 17.
Oh, you know what that means. That means Dragon Lord is going to be a piece of cake at level 17.
And actually, that defense stat with Silver Shield and Armor at 13, we were already sitting at 83, so we are almost set for defense power.
Yeah, but Rio, question for you. Would you do the Death Necklace at level 17 against Dragon Lord?
That depends. I mean, we see, Broadsword MisterHomes was at attack power of 82, with only 4 levels to go. Without having the Urgic Sword equipped, we have a lot of attack power to make up right now still.
Well, because remember, like, this is in my race in this week, I actually managed to kill Dragon Lord level 17 without the deck necklace, even though I had like so much HP.
Well, it's definitely not impossible. It just depends on what your stats are and what you need. I mean, MisterHomes reaches level 17 and is a good 10 attack power short, but has 130, 140 HP. Then I would say level 17 Death Necklace would be a good way to go, rather than trying to grind out more attack power to be able to, or more strength and levels rather.
That is true. I wonder if they're wondering where Catelyn is, because that I would like try to search for right now to see what the coordinates are.
Personally, I would be hoping that there isn't a Catelyn and that there is no coordinates. I would not want to even try traversing this map and counting anything or having to worry about carrying a princess.
What if the coordinates is like too south of the castle?
I'd hope not. I think that puts it in the ocean.
No, it doesn't actually. It puts it still in the swamp.
And Smashy with the Wombo combo once again, sending him home.
You know what? This is getting me curious. I wonder if all the towns are in where Breckenary was.
I don't know, but everybody's flirting with the location of the swamp cave right now, or at least Smashy was. there's level 14 for Mr. Holmes. Not too impressive on the stat gains, though.
But it's decently viable, except for its attack power is not ideal for Dragon Lord right now. Oh, and we see the first wizard sighting, which is just using physical right now.
That's good news for Holmes. I think we've seen plenty of other things from the other enemies enough as is. I think physicals. I think we're quite happy for that.
Especially like getting what, like 130 EXP from it. I won't be complaining. Oh, Axe Knife with the stops. Axe Knife with stop spell. Smashy was in Remolder. I think he re-got his Stones of Sunlight, but I'm not sure, so someone needs to check his inventory.
Well, speaking of Stones of Sunlight, we have the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave being found by Mr. Holmes. Unfortunately, it is just a cursed belt, but cursed belt does tell us one thing. At least one of the two items, token or flute, is guaranteed to be in a searchable spot. And I believe Smashy did pick up these Stones of Sunlight in Rimlar. I believe I did see him in. In fact, I almost wondered if he did, because he slept in.
He did. Yeah, he slept in the and then grabbed it. Chat also brings up a good point. No one has seen Hawks in this yet either.
Yeah, we still have yet to find Hawksness or Cantlin, so one of our searchable spots that remains, we have to find them.
I can tell you, this race is a big map to explore. I am not gonna lie.
It's certainly an even bigger map if it's true that nothing remains on the other side of the swamp cave except for Breckenary.
And if I was in this seed racing, I will be frustrated as crazy. Speaking of towns, I see Mr. Holmes I see in our town.
Well, we only have 2 left to find.
Come on, Cantlin.
I'd be okay with Cantlin. Let's get a nice 150 to 200 step count coordinate find. And it seems Basp is quite contented to just sit here and grind. I can't say I blame them. If you can get the levels early, you can make your exploration certainly easier. And we have Cantlin.
Come on, let's see those coordinates. Viral, good pun on that. I approve.
Oh, no coordinates. Thou must go and fight.
Thou must find Hawksness.
Thou must go and fight the beast in Hawksness, indeed. Now we're at a problem, though. We still need token and flute. Well, we don't need the flute, but we have token and flute to find. if Hawksness holds the flute, then we're going to have to search out the remaining chests, which at this point we have Mountain and we have the Staff of Rain Cave to be found, one of which has to be in the back of Garenham.
Most likely, either Garingham or Hawksness will have the token or the flute at this rate. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the back of Garingham where those 3 chests are always located. And speaking of level, Smashy got to level 12.
Well, I have to say, I think our cartographers would have carpal tunnel by the time they got done drawing this.
Oh, Neswood had drawn this map like nuts.
And Mr. Holmes content to grind on these red dragons with stop spell landing quite successfully, it seems. And it's a good thing, because I just saw red dragons using heal more. Thankfully, that spell hath been blocked.
And Mr. Holmes is level 15 with 1... Does that 3 and a 4 on... Ooh! MTI levels. Where is MTI?
The strength gain was nice, but everything else, not so much.
Oh, Smashy found Garingham.
Ooh, this could be a big find for Smashy if Garenham holds some goodies in it.
And don't forget, he can actually buy the Dragon Scale, which increases his defense a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen anybody actually purchase any items. Well, he didn't have to buy a Dragon Scale. He found one, along with, I believe that was some fairy water.
Let's see where the back is for Garingham. We got Mountain Cave, everyone.
We have some good news. We have the last of the chests to be found, as far as any chest outside of Sharlock. But we're still left with one big problem. We don't know where the Staff of Rain Shrine is. So we're gonna get the harp for sure here. Potentially we can get the sword, and well, there's the harp. We can get the sword and the fighter's ring. And we may.
Let's see what Hawksness contains right now since Mr. Hometown, and it's just a regular golem.
Well, Hawk's find for Mr. Holmes, which could be good news for him, along with that missing K. And, ooh, good news for Smashy. We have the token, which means Hawksness holds Fairy Flute and is not required. Little curious as to why Smashy just outside before checking the last chest.
That could bite him.
That could indeed come back to haunt him a little there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Uh,
Looks
wait,
like
wait.
actually he may have picked it up already in the cave. It looks like that was actually in his status.
I wish I could rewind it, but I can't.
Oh, and he's in luck as Hawksness, and the final cave, the Staff for Rain Shrine, is right there. He's going to skip right over Hawks, doesn't care one bit about it, and doesn't need to.
Luckily, Jerk Caves is also easy. He can just cast Return.
May see a quick check for a grind enemy here, but I think he'll see Golem and Nope right.
If I was gonna grind for a good trap ground, I would go straight to Swamp Cave because that's Red Dragon grinding right there.
And, well, we have a hurt casting Golem so far.
Which is not terrible in my opinion.
And looks to be at least a 50% chance there. We had two hurts and 2 physicals, but the 2 physicals will take Smashy down. Don't feel that he really cares too much at this point.
But he will have access to the Rainbow token right now because he might. You know what? This kind of gives me a good point right now. He could possibly grind near Dragon Lord. Because remember, there is a trap tile before we battle Dragon Lord himself.
This is true as well, depending on what can be found there.
If it's red dragons, I'll say I'll go all in.
Well, if it's a red dragon, I don't think I would. I don't know if I would want to grind there. You would still have to return back home, whereas if you grind at Swamp, then you can go into Breckenary, heal, come right back, and start a grind again.
Oh, speaking of MisterHomes, he actually found Garingham.
And that will be good news for MisterHomes.
Rio, do you mind doing a minor recap since we're like almost like an hour and a half away in?
Well, there won't be a whole lot to recap since we've seen everything collected here recently. But so Erdrick's armor was found in coal, and we have seen that the Silver Harp is found in Mountain Cave. The Stones of Sunlight were found in Remolder. The token also was found in Mountain Cave, and I believe Erdrick's sword was found in Mountain Cave as well. And of course, we do have the Staff for Rain Cave, just a little bit away from Garinham, with the Rainbow Drop Cave hiding in Tantagel Castle.
Speaking of rainbow drops, Smashy is about to drop it in Charlock. Do you know what EXP is required for level 17?
Experience for level 17 is 8,000.
Oh, Smashy's in Charlotte at level 13. I think he's just going here for, like, see what the grind tile is. And that's weird. We haven't seen Green Dragon yet either. Looks like he's just doing physicals for Green Dragons.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the defense that they're at, they can afford. Seeing as how Green Dragon was hitting for 3, and well, we do have the Red Dragons here as our boss before the dragon. And we see a quick look at the stats. Yeah, that is some good good defense there with 88 defense.
Did MisterHomes forgot to stop for rain?
I think he may have forgot where it was located because I didn't see him go back.
You should know it's near Hawksness.
And so far, level 16, we were seeing 114 HP, 120 attack power with the Surgic Sword being picked up now. Still a little bit short from having the attack power required for Dragon Lord, and still short for HP required to be able to at least minimum of 130 to use Death Necklace and still have enough HP to survive 2 full strength Dragon Lord breaths, as it can do a max of 48 damage. So to survive 2, you would be at 1 health with 97 HP.
Oh, I think I know what MisterHomes is doing. He's trying to grind on the red D, so he can so then he can turn into Stop for Rain and then Jerk Cave, then to go to Charlock immediately.
Well, whatever he's doing, he's heading back the way he needs to go. He may have just gotten a little turned around with the this map that we've been dealing with here.
Well, the map is huge, not gonna lie. There we go. There's this Tapering Cave for MisterHomes.
And we have Stoneman over here in Charlock, and Smashy is actually bashing away at it.
That's not a bad play, to be honest.
And so far, I think we've just been seeing Basp doing grinding. I don't think there's really been much exploration being done.
Unless Basp is on tilt.
And there is level 14 for Smashy now.
And there's that rainbow drop that Mr. Holmes grabs, so he's pretty much good to go, but he needs that level up to survive against Dragon Lord. I believe he's like, what, 600 away from getting it?
I believe about 600, yeah. We'll get to see where he's at here in just a moment when he pulls up his menu again. About 567 more, and he'll get to level 17.
I just wonder if he's gonna grind that Charlock.
Well, he's at least going to see what's there, or perhaps he's going to make a chest dive here, maybe get a collective fighter's ring.
Yeah, I won't blame him for going for the fighter's ring right now.
If he gets a good 7 or 8 attack power gain, or rather strength gain on this next level, that fighter's ring could be just what he needs in order to be able to actually go ahead and take on the Dragon Lord.
Well, he is damage breaking against the Stone Man, at least.
And Smashy actually has a bit of a nice grind spot here with these green dragons. I think Basp has actually been content with grinding on werewolves here, seeing as how they only breathe the baby breath most of the time, and their physicals don't really do a lot of damage. And I believe Mr. Holmes must have found the ring, since he left a chest behind and is walking away.
Yeah, he must have activated the glitch by accident, maybe? I'm not sure. Never mind, he did not get the ring. Oh, I know why, because look at his experience points right now. There we go, level 17 for Mr. Holmes. It's 10, 6, 7, 1.
Well, that'll do.
But I don't blame him going to run away and go to the king right now and go back.
Still can't understand why he checked all the chests but that one if he didn't get the ring. Certainly something to ask in the post-race interview.
Well, according to chat, it might not be a guaranteed fighter's ring in that chest.
And we have Basp has found their way to Remolder.
He is about to grab his key item, if I'm not mistaken, Stone to Sunlight.
And definitely a bit of a debate on whether Mr. Holmes can take on the Dragon Lord at this point. So for those who are not familiar, the way to figure out how much damage you can do to the Dragon Lords, you take your attack power and you lop off 100 of it, and then that leaves you with 30. You get your max damage by dividing it by 2 for 15 at this point, and then divide again by 2 for your minimum damage, which would be 7.5, which we always round down in this particular case to 7, so you would do 7 to 15 damage. On average, that means you can do 11 damage with a range of 150 to 165 for Dragonlord 2's HP.
He's checking for Vanilla Edric's sword.
Grabs a couple of herbs and makes his way.
What's the next level up for 18?
I don't understand what he's doing. I think there's one other chest aside from that middle chest there that wasn't checked, and that's the one in the mountain cave, the very last chest that still nobody checked. But he's not checking that middle chest here.
You know what? I just wonder if he's going to go for Death Necklace at 121 HP.
If he does, he would be running a huge risk, as that would put him below the 97 HP minimum for survival. And Basp, I believe, is on the right track to find Garenham, which means the remaining items can be found. Boy, 10 Healmores, definitely a potential to be able to get double hits on the Dragonlord here with 121 HP.
Oh, he's banking on the gamble.
Ooh, and getting some good luck here with stop spells from Dragonlord 1. It looks like we may get to see a double to start. Ooh, boy, starting off with a 7, though. And a second 7, ooh.
He's rolling really low on his attack rolls.
10 is certainly better, but we need to get a little bit higher than that average of 11, so we're at 24 so far. 15, much better. Brings us to 42, plus a 9 gets us to 51. Another 9 gets us up to 60. Will bring us to 72 now.
His damage output is not that bad right now.
Another 14, that gets us to 86.
$96 right now.
And MisterHomes risks it. Oh, but he hits him for the 44, and he will take a death. Sad. MisterHomes taking a 44, which Dragonlord's Dragon Breath can only hit you for 42, 44, 46, or 48.
It looks like Mr. Holmes he's maybe got gamble the middle chest right now, or the Vanilla Edric place.
Well, Mr. Holmes did check he checked the Vanilla Sword location. I don't think he's actually gonna bother with the remaining chests. I think he might just go straight back and try it again.
But Smashy on her hand is grinding like a madman in the Charlock.
Yeah, that is for sure. Smashy actually has quite effectively destroyed Basp's experience leads with being able to just stay here and grind.
Oh, Mr. Holmes decided not to go for the fighter's ring anymore. He's just going straight to D-Lord.
At this point, I think he's thinking he has already checked the chest here, and it must be the last chest in the mountain cave that he didn't check. Seeing as how Smashy didn't check it, we won't find out here either. So unless Basp checks, we will be forever left wondering where was the fighter's ring.
Well, Basp got his silver harp right now, so he's gonna get everything else in the mountain cave.
And it does indeed look like Mr. Holmes is choosing to do some grinding before going at the Dragon Lord again, hoping maybe a level 18 will have just a little bit more of a boost.
Well, Basp found the Edric's token.
Don't do it, Basp! No, don't do it!
He found the Edric sword, so he's good to go on attack power, but no! No, wait. There's still 2 locations left besides the mountain cave. It could be the middle chest where both Smashy and Mr. Holmes skip, or vanilla Edric sword, which is right next to those lovely chests.
I'm gonna have a bone to pick with all 3 of them if we don't find out where it was.
Oh, you know it, Rio. I'm the same way, man. I'm like, can you just check it once?
Well, here is level 18, and oh wow, 8 and 21 on the HP. That will do it. And he goes ahead and throws the death necklace on for an extra 10, brings us up to a whopping 148 attack power. I think that's gonna do it for this Dragon Lord fight.
And here we go. Round 2 for Mr. Holmes. Oof, back attack already.
And Dragon Lord not being friendly. And Basp has found the Hawks, nopes right out, and sees the Staff of Rain cave. Alright, we've got 2 heal mores left.
D-Lord's not giving up that easily.
And that will do it.
Well, get your GGs out, everyone. Mr. Holmes is about to head for the victory lap. You wanna call Ryu?
Alright, so MisterHomes is going to finish in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 40 seconds. Boy, what a seed. And Basp does go ahead and give the Golem a try in Hawk's Nest. The Golem says... So Basp is collecting their rainbow drop and will be basically in pure grind mode at this point.
And Smashy's like 300 XP away from level 17.
Be interesting to see if with the strength agility build, if Smashy goes for level 17 Dragon Lord or continues on to level 18 as MisterHomes.
Please, Bash, check the middle chest, please.
Holy moly. Feels good to be done that monstrosity. Oh my goodness.
Well, he is going to go ahead and take a look. And I believe we are joined by MisterHomes. Welcome, MisterHomes and GG.
Bonjour, suivez-moi. Follow
That
me.
was one of the craziest things you've done, Mr. Holmes. How you like the huge map of this seed?
There are so many amazing words that I can use to describe this map, and I was actually thinking, because I knew this would be the first question, so hooray. Sadistic, suffocating was the favorite word that came to mind. There's no space out there. Everywhere there is just bombardment after bombardment after bombardment. It was just unbelievable.
I am so sorry, man. It's my fault.
Hey man, I won, so I guess that makes it okay.
I bet you everyone else will say I'm not gonna spin another seed again.
Well, I mean, to be fair, myself and someone else called for a reseed, and the other people were like, no, it's fine. I should have known, man.
Normally I don't spin this bad, but this is one of the worst I've done.
But honestly, like, there's so many fascinating aspects with respect to it. I mean, let's say you just take away the swamper on the start. I think our opinion of it would be a lot different, because it was really cool how you had to just really work for everything you got.
There was certainly a lot of, please don't hurt more of me, please don't hurt more of me, please don't hurt.
More or less, yeah. I mean, even stop spell, it wasn't working quite all the time. And even when we had the health to withstand some hurt mores, then we just didn't have the strength to kill the enemy quick enough. Or he would put us to sleep unexpectedly, and oh my goodness, those rogue knights.
But we do have a bone to pick on one thing, Mr. Holmes. How come you skipped the mill chest in Sharlock?
I think I looked at it. Was it the second time? I did get it eventually.
Was it a fighter's ring or no?
No, it wasn't. And that's why my strategy for that first fight changed quite a bit.
Well, we were hoping that you would bank it on vanilla Edric's sword location in Sharlock.
Well, I got Erdrick's sword and Erdrick's token and the silver harp all in the mountain cave. But as soon as I got the sword, I just jumped out. And I guess the fighter's ring must have been in there.
Well,
It seems actually it may have been the last chest in Mountain Cave.
Yeah, that's the only chest I had not opened in the entire game. So definitely it was that one. But I wasn't even thinking of that at the time. All I thought was, I have the token, I have the harp, I have the sword. The fighter's ring didn't even cross my mind. And sure, I wish I would have done it, but like I said, just didn't even cross my mind. And it made actually a sizable difference. It made it like kind of a reasonable fight versus a very sketchy fight without it.
Yeah, it seems that was indeed what everybody seemed to do was, well, token, harp, sword. Okay,
And I mean, I can't, obviously I did it, but even looking back on it, maybe I should have some more awareness, but usually it's not gonna matter. And all I'm thinking of is, I just need to go to Sharlock, let's go. Play the odds, I guess.
After the length of time, can't say I blame you. Definitely was quite a ways before anybody even discovered coal.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was the first one there, because I felt that I discovered it relatively early. Like around 20-25 minutes or something.
you were the first one, Mr. Holmes. You were actually the first one who found it.
The first one who found what? Sorry, I didn't catch the end of that.
First one to found coal before everyone else did.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were going to add something else to that. But yeah, that obviously made a huge difference. And once I saw that, I could go and do a gold grind to actually get a silver shield and a broadsword, which, although it helped a lot, still was just suffering. The whole seed was just suffering.
Yeah, I mean, there was Hurtmore abound, there was Sleep abound, there was Dragonlord Breath abound. I mean, the enemies were just brutal.
Yeah, and the whole time I was thinking of, is there a zone I can just chill out on and fight stuff? And the closest thing I found maybe to that was a zone with knights. But I think there was some other stuff mixed in that just was no bueno. There was no, like, good middle game grinding zone. But really, like, I hope the audience saw this seed, just how to maximize the use of all your resources. Like, seeing that red dragon has 75% hurt more, just stop spell it and just go to town on it. It may take 9 hits to kill it, but that's like a third of a level for pretty much any level.
By the way, Smashy is doing really well at level 17 against Dragonlord with double attacking almost every turn.
That's variance for you. But yeah, I had to make a business decision at the end of the day. My fight started with 2 7s, which is my minimum roll, and I needed to roll at least average, if not above average. And I basically took a chance. I took like maybe like probably like a 50-50 fighting at 44, but I really felt that I was well less than 50% to win at that point. So I mean, I take the chance now, and then if I lose, then I can at least go back right away rather than suffering through the rest of the fight, then dying and wasting a bunch of other time.
Yeah, that was definitely the nicest thing about this seed was Charlotte was just right there.
Yeah, for sure.
If he died, right back, no problem. Not even a minute, and I'm there.
Yeah, I still, I can't help but really wish there was a reseed on this one. Just because when you have the swamp near the start, and you're out, and swamp had low strength, right? Basically, you either have to try and encounter something in the swamp, or start searching around for one of the other zones. And I wouldn't be surprised if most people got started on red slimes just northwest, but I was lucky and got a Draki, which was all I needed for level 2, and then I was good to go.
Well, I mean, red slimes would have definitely been, a possible start. But I mean, they were throwing a lot of hurt, and at a low level, there wasn't a lot that you could do against.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that just makes it even nastier, man. You suffer for a while, you finally find something, and then it just kicks you right in the pants.
Well, actually, you might got lucked out because red slimes did had hurt more as.
Ugh, barf. Absolute barf. But yeah, so my point, as I got a little sidetracked there, when you have a seed like this where, really it's very heavily RNG at the start, super heavy. Killing an enemy is almost like killing a metal slime at that point, and it becomes a little bit less skill involved, so that's unfortunate, and we had someone forfeit because of that. It was just too bad. But it is what it is, and the league's supposed to be a challenge, so that it was today.
Yes, indeedy. So, are you looking forward for the chaos seed for next week, Mr. Holmes?
Have you heard my opinion? Okay, I'm looking forward to it, but it has the potential to be not a lot of fun. But I've been trying to put in a lot of work. I've been really frustrated with it, and I'm hoping that my practice pays off, because the starts in that can be just as brutal as this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for I'm gonna be in panic mode for the next week in the race, so I will be in super panic mode for chaos seeds, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's kind of good at the same time in that you can anybody has a shot to win. If you get the right start, you can save a lot of time.
Myself personally, I'm a fan of chaos, and I am certainly familiar with your disdain for chaos, but it should be fun, or at least it won't be vanilla spell levels. That was the killer for me this week 1 flags that I think.
Yeah, for sure, and I think my initial dislike for chaos is just from having to adapt to a completely different set of circumstances, right? You essentially know nothing going into it, or very little to nothing. And the more I learn, the more I can start to struggle through it, the more I'm warming up to it. But yeah, hopefully that continues. So I see that Smashy must have died, as he's not finished yet.
Yeah, his last double attack was on a super low roll on his attack output. It was double 7s on his last attacks.
Ugh, that's disgusting. Does anybody know, get a count of his damage in the chat or something?
He
didn't look like it.
But he was pretty close to kill Dragon Lord 2, but... Oh, wow! I see Basp at 16. I think no, Basp is at 17. Someone change the stats, please, for him for Basp because he's on level 17.
He is at 17, but he's a heal more short at 74 MP.
It's pretty dim if you try and fight that. Maybe if you have the fighter's ring, you can luck out, but if you don't, I wouldn't recommend it.
And speaking of fights, double Dragon Lord 2 fight on both streams right now, and Smashy just wiped.
Did I miss what happened there? Did he take a risk on a not a 100% chance of surviving?
I don't know. He just went straight to King when I came back to it. While Basp is trying to survive right now.
Was Smashy still at 17?
Yes, indeedy, MisterHomes.
Yeah, and see that's really risky. Especially, like I said, even with full resources, it was still like slight favorite. But even on my way for the first fight, I still wasn't sure, and I was punching some stuff along the way. And the thing you need to know on these very fast experience flags is the levels are a lot closer together, and it's not too hard to just smack some stuff on the way. It's only 1500 experience. That's only 6 red dragons. But yeah, he must have felt like he had a good shot.
Babs is on his last heal more, so it's do or die on him on Dragon Lord 2.